everybody, welcome back to Skill Check. Today we're going to be rating all the classes in D&D on a tier list because there's nothing better than empirical evidence.
Yep, and that's why we're going to use none of it today and give you our hard opinion, which should be taken as fact. By which I mean, for example, I've never played or seen a bloodhunter, so...
This is a definitive tier list.
Yes, this is a definitive tier list. And as a result of the definitiveness, we will be rolling a dice at the end to decide who is correct. So one of these tier lists won't matter.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's just start from the top. I guess we'll go in alphabetical order for these images. We're starting with Artificer. How do you feel about Artificer?
I think that every time I've seen someone play Artificer, I take them aside and say, did you want to play Wizard? I'll just give you that item.
I'll just let you do that.
Yeah. And they're like, but I want to tinker. I'm like, you just can. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a lot better ways to go about making Artificer. You can do something like just an inventor who does other things in combat. The problem that I see is that Artificers are either completely and utterly useless in almost every scenario, or they find one thing that just absolutely blows the game wide open.
Yeah, that's true. I also feel like most of the time someone goes Artificer, it's because they want the cannon. They're like, I really like the idea of artillery. And I'm just like, do you just want a cannon?
I'll just make you a
I'll
cannon.
Just make you a cannon. Like, it's not that hard.
I'm putting Artificer in C. It's not good. I'm going to put it in play something else.
Okay, that's pretty fair.
I hate Artificer.
I don't hate it. I think it's got good flavor. I'll put it in C, as in see you at the table with a different class.
Yeah. It's like, it's not even good for multi-classing, really.
No, it is really cool for roleplay, though. Everyone loves the Tinkerer with the goggles, so that's what's safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, moving on, we're going to Barbarian. So we got a lot to consider here. We got Rage.
Well, they have, most Barbarian players only know that Barbarian starts with B, so they would put it in B.
That's true. B for Barbarian. I'm not going to do that. I mean, if we're thinking about, if we're trying to encapsulate all of the things that Barbarian are, like we didn't even talk about the Artificer subclasses because they don't matter.
Right.
Barbarian has
some cool subclasses.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. They got Zealot, they got Totem. Bear Totem Barbarian is the classic. You ever want to resist literally everything? Here it is.
I think I'm going to stick it at a solid B, and I reserve the right to adjust once I see where things shake out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to change things up.
Look, you hit things, you don't get hit very hard, you can jump over the moon, you can throw a car, I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, I just want to be different from you, so I'm going to put mine in A for now.
Nice.
I think that as a martial, it's definitely the funniest, and that is like a big motivator for me, so yeah.
Yeah, I also like Smash things.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Moving on, we got Bard. All right. I am a bard. That's me.
I gotta put this at A. This is one of the most flexible classes, and like especially with all the memes running around, it's easy to get lost in the fact that the bards are, playboy, playgirl, play mentality, they lie about everything, but also they just do everything ever pretty good.
Yeah.
So I find when I have a lot of newer players, I'm like, this character's abilities are not going to make much sense, but also you can like pretty much halfway do everything. So get in there and cause some chaos.
I think the coolest thing about Bard is that really it feels like every time you're selecting spells, every time you go into a combat, you get the opportunity to do something and everyone's like, excuse me?
Like, what? What's that?
What was that? Whether it's not doing any spells and playing music, or if it's like, I'm going to cast a 5th level lightning bolt. And they're like, you don't have access to that spell. And you're like, I do. Yeah. And in fact, I've been holding on to it for 12 levels just to not show it to you so that I could do it here.
It's actually, I feel like it is the class of surprises. Now, does this mean it's your favorite class?
Bard is by far my favorite class.
Okay.
No other class comes close.
I like that. Okay. I'll actually put one up there in a moment. But yeah, I'm happy with A.
So, my first player character in a long-term campaign was Bard.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Very much fun.
Okay.
And also, it just speaks to my soul.
What subclass is your favorite?
Lore is the funniest because you get to choose anything. But way back when, there was a Clown College subclass that was being tested in UA, and it let you take cunning action.
Once you put something on the internet, it stays on the internet. So he's saying way back when, it's still there. You can find it.
Oh yeah, it's probably on 5e2.
Were you like a real clown or like an Eldritch Horror clown?
No, I wasn't even a clown really. I was just a bard that went to Clown College and was like, I know how to like tumble and fake being hurt and stuff like that.
Got it.
Yeah, very slapstick, but overall, he was just an idiot, which is the best part about playing Bard.
Maybe I went to clown college.
Did you go to clown college?
But I'm good at being an idiot.
Maybe you did go to clown college.
Okay, we go to the next one.
Yeah. Next up, we have bloodhunter. This is the Matthew Mercer homemade, put out the D&D Beyond class that received an update like a few years ago. I had a long-term campaign where I had a player character who played bloodhunter. I have to say the showing, very funny, very cool. What do you know about bloodhunter?
I have not played it. I've not seen it in a game. I tried to put it on an NPC, and they did that thing where they didn't meet them because they walked the other direction, so that was cool. And then beyond that, I have nothing. So as far as I go...
Well, let me give you an update.
Yeah, okay.
Bloodhunter's whole gimmick is that they're like The Witcher.
Oh.
And
I'm The Witcher.
They basically use the power of their edginess to make their weapon do elemental damage.
Okay.
And then they do a couple other things too. I think the update happened and they could do like a mark where they're like, I'm going to mark you as my target or like my enemy. And then they do bonus stuff to them and they get to select from a huge list of bonus things.
So are you saying that Matt Mercer fixed Ranger again?
Yes. I think.
Okay.
This is the weirdest Ranger, but yes.
Okay.
I would say so.
Then I would like to put it at B because it'll be better than Ranger.
Do you want to put it above or below Barbarian? Are we doing this in full order?
We should. I would love to play and see this. For now, I think this is good.
Okay. My experience with Bloodhunter is that I would very much like to play it, and I'm going to put it at A.
Oh, Barbarian.
I think so. I'm playing a Barbarian right now. Would love to play a Bloodhunter and see how it works out. Maybe those two will do some switching.
But we'll just multi-class and be a Blood Barbarian?
Not with this guy.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh man, the secrets of my home games. They will never be revealed to the grander internet. Cleric.
My Patreon, maybe. Cleric, oh god.
Alright, so I'm just going to pay my class taxes right now. Because... as much as we might like or dislike, doesn't matter. Cleric is...
It's very good.
It's like the best class, almost, maybe.
We sat down thinking about this tier list and like how we're going to judge classes, combat, role play, utility.
Yeah, but we're just like, Cleric's the best.
It doesn't matter. You can just do it all. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Plus, you get to have like a nice one-on-one relationship with the DMs that's disguised as a deity.
Yeah.
So like Caleb in 4A, he just wants to text us.
Yeah, doing kissy faces all the time.
Yeah, he just sends us kissy emojis.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Cleric really gets to do anything, and they have 58 subclasses, so you really have pick of the litter for what you want to flavor it as.
Yeah, plus this is the added bonus is if you take it to your DM and you're like, hi DM, I'd like you to design like a new god for me, and here's some stuff. They'll usually go, oh, yes. And then you'll become the teacher's pet very quickly.
Yeah, I think Cleric is just disgusting how amazing it is. I played a Cleric in a game that I was a samurai. And the fact that you can take Cleric to that distance is like a whole
actually
concept.
Yes, you can just say you're a thing and then be Cleric, and people be like, "What do you mean?" You're like, "I'm a Cleric of War." And they're like, "Oh, I got it."
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yes, I'm a Cleric of stuffed animals. Of course, I see that you could defeat me in any battle.
Yeah,
of course, I should have known.
I have yet to do this. I've done this with Bard, a party of all one class. 5 Bards was hilarious.
Yep.
5 Clerics would actually just be the best class.
This is the classic joke. The Amen.
Go ahead.
The party of all clerics is the Amen.
Yeah, the Amen.
It's just a classic.
Incredible.
Yep.
Okay, we've said enough.
Yeah, I think so. Cleric will speak for itself when you see it and you feel nightmares for having known it. Druid. So Druid is, there are 2 wolves inside you, and that's not a Druid joke, even though it is.
Yeah.
One is, I'm going to turn into a literal wolf, and the other one is, I'm just going to be the most utilitarian spellcaster that is in the entire game, other than Cleric.
I think they did a good job.
Druid is great. I thought it was really funny when they released OD&D Druid, and they were like, how about this? Let's reduce all creatures into 4 stat blocks. And everyone says, we are going to burn Wizards of the Coast to the ground.
That's right.
The wizard said, I think that we took a big step with Druid, and I think we're going to take that big step back.
I think Druid gets S for Shillelagh. How do you feel?
S for Shillelagh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Druid is also an S tier, and there's not really much we can do about it.
Yeah, I just really like, it's so fun to include the roleplay of accidentally remembering you're an animal in combat. So someone's like, get to that objective, and like, we've got to stop the respawn. Yeah, you hit him with the bird noise, or even we saw it in skill check when Seven was a rat.
Yeah,
and he was like running around like trying to be Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah,
it was like It was perfect.
I'm gonna bump down Druid just because I don't want them to have this.
Right. Okay. Well, there's something satisfying about being like Flaming Sphere. How long does this last? Oh, I can just do this 10 times and roll a battlefield fire and like level 5.
You know what? Every other tier list on the internet is gonna put Druid in S tier, and for that, I'm gonna put it into play something else. You are going to play Druid at some point. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's true.
It's an inevitability that you will end up playing Druid at some point. Play something else right now.
I'll represent the Druid players here, and I will defeat you in this dice roll, and then your tier list will be invalidated. But if I lose,
it's gonna be so awesome when I win.
No, okay. You're an agent of chaos, but let's move on.
Moving on to fighter.
Oh yeah. Plus 48 to hit at level 1.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's that? You're hurt. You can just heal because you want to, and then
I really think that a fighter should have reckless attack. Just because they need it. Right. You know what I mean?
It's pretty bad, actually, when you're rolling plus 30 at level 2. Right? Not level 1, that'd be unfair. And that you miss, so you should just get to do it twice.
Yep.
Actually, they do that. It's called Action Surge. At some point, you just get to do it all again.
I actually think that fighter is kind of like a sleeper, super cool class that people just like to say, haha, human fighter. And they just kind of forget it.
That keeps me up at night, man. I'm playing a very good human fighter. I'm like, oh, great. What? You can't even tell what they're going to do.
The humans, they're surrounding me. Oh, God. I really like fighter. I think I'm going to slam it into A tier, top of A tier.
Me too.
I don't even think that anyone is going to dethrone this. I think it's so cool.
This is hard for me because fighter's like the jack of all martial trades, and bard is like the jack of all magic trades. And I like magic, so I'm going to put Bard a little bit further, I think.
Further this way?
I was going to say further up, but, I can't stop you in this moment, so.
Into S tier?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Very good.
I would love to watch a one-on-one that's a Bard and a fighter and just see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be really funny, because fighter would be like, I attack 6 times, and the Bard would be like, I have 1 HP, but I cast. Yeah. It's like, I guess whole person and I go start a family. Like, I raise a school of children to fight for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense. Monk.
Oh, yeah. This is such a cool class.
Okay, I'm gonna do some tooling. Are you ready?
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm gonna do this and then that.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you did beat.
I did that with beer for Barbarian.
Oh, beer for the Barbarian. Yeah, no, that actually typically the Barbarian in my table is just drunk on his ass.
Yeah,
like you only have to remember one thing. It's I attack with.
I attack recklessly, great weapon master.
Right, exactly.
Those things.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah, if you're playing Barbarian, take great weapon master because you don't have another choice.
Yeah, pretty much. Now the thing about this is, why are you putting monk here? Is it more
anime?
I was gonna say, is it more combat effective? But yeah,
the idea of like running up walls is enough that monk is like soaring past the B tier, and like it could do nothing but run up walls, and that would be fine.
I'm gonna put it at bottom of A because Caleb in my home game has kept me awake at night because every time he does anything, I just immediately assume there's 8 more stunning strikes coming. And I don't know if you know this, if you roll a dice 20 times, you're gonna get a low result at some point. And then your boss can't move, and then he dies.
It will happen.
Yeah. And then you're just like, oh, cool, my toy that I spent an hour on.
Right, dude. I developed 25 unique actions, and now it's spending its turn. All right. It is a sleepy baby.
That's not great.
So strange. All right, we got Paladin coming up.
Oh, Paladin.
Now, here's where it is for me, all right?
Okay.
You start playing Paladin. You smite. Yeah. God. The rush of joy. Yeah. Then you smite again. Yeah. Oh, man. Baby, how could it go wrong?
Right.
Try to smite again. No spell slots.
It's so true. Oh.
Where do I go? Who do I talk to?
Yeah, I just love... The auras are so cool, like roleplay wise, right? You get behind me, I'll hold back the fear.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's just so hard to play.
They really would be cool if they weren't bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you throwing?
No.
You really think C?
Yeah. Damn. I just think... So, in my mind... Barbarian, Great Weapon Master, Reckless Attack has the pop-off of like, yes, I will deal 35 damage. Thank you very much.
True.
He gets to do that every single turn.
That's true.
Paladin walks up once and he says, I deal 80 damage, and everyone goes, wow! And then he goes, I'm gonna go kick it on the bench. See you guys after the combat.
That's true, but they've got the auras, they've got lay on hands. I definitely think, as far as combat goes, yeah, I'd rather have this, but they've got some out-of-combat stuff that I think is cool. Plus, like, Paladin is one of those classes where... Have you ever had people at your table who are, like, non-deific classes? So, like, not Paladin, not Cleric, but they want to keep faith. So, like, a fighter, like...
Paladin, I played one of those.
Paladin is cool because I think it's, like, a caster-ish bit that you don't have to go full, God boy. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool too for a role play perspective. I'm gonna put it at A. I will put it right above fighter. Now I'm saying that bard is better than paladin, and I think that's I think that's correct. Actually, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good for me.
Yeah, I'm loving the disparity. I love your perfect curve, and I'm fucking crackhead.
This is because I spend too much time building Magic the Gathering decks, and I literally can't do it not.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
Moving on to Ranger. Ranger is a unique one. Everyone on the internet loves to shit talk Ranger.
Can you give a 30-second recap of the history of Ranger and why the drop?
So, Ranger is kind of like Druid plus Fighter, except it does both things bad.
Yep.
And then if you want, you can have a pet. The pet is always bad.
And there's like, also they did a thing where it's like a smidge of Rogue too.
Yeah.
Smidge.
Ranger was made for an exploration campaign.
Yep.
They can forage for food.
Yep.
They can sneak really well. They can travel long distances without being slowed. Nobody gives a shit. Everyone's playing, a movie. They're not playing, Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, trekking, countries.
And even if they were, to your point, you could just be a druid with Goodberry and you eat food.
Yep. Or you could just be a fighter who is like a survivalist.
Pretty much every category of Ranger at the time, even before the fixes came out, it was like, I would just rather be a fighter with a bow. I would rather just be a rogue with a bow. I'd rather be a druid with no wild shapes, just better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I agree. Or if you really want to roleplay like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Play a fighter.
Yeah, well, but then you can't say you're a ranger like the people.
I mean, that's true. Just play a fighter then. Call yourself a ranger.
Yeah,
You'll be fine.
Just do that. I actually have done that where I'm like, here's the fighters like stats. You can just call yourself a ranger. It's cool.
Yeah, and also, fighter has a subclass called Arcane Archer.
Yeah,
they literally do archery better than ranger.
That really offended me when I saw that. Anyway, I'm going to put this in something else.
Okay, I'm going to put it in S tier next to Cleric.
Now I know you're throwing.
I'm not throwing. After all of what we've said about Ranger,
Yep.
if you walk down the paths and you get to the
I
end,
see what you're saying here.
the Ranger subclasses, Gloomstalker, very cool.
Gloomstalker's good.
Swarmkeeper, great. There's a planeswalking one, very interesting. And imagine this. Imagine you go to a table. Everyone's watched their D&D class tier list. They're coming out with Warlock. They're running in with their, Battlemaster, Fighter, Viewmate.
Even Sorcerer.
Yeah, they're coming here with Sorcerer. They're twinning haste. You roll up with Beastmaster Hunter.
Yeah.
Or Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger.
Everyone is like, what is wrong with this guy? And it turns out, you look at the math, the DPR is fine. Ranger performs like pretty normally compared to everything else.
So I also was thinking, if you have the chutzpah to show up with a Ranger in any game, and you know all of this, and you know the options, and you sit down, you have my immediate respect. It's like the player who shows up, they want to play a dwarf with a hammer.
Yeah.
Because they're there.
They just know.
They just want to play the game and have some fun in the fantasy. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You've sold me. I think we'll go to C. As in, see you with a different class maybe, but you could play that.
Sure.
All right.
All right, moving on, we got Rogue.
Oh, Rogue.
Wow, Rogue is so much.
Yeah.
There's so much that is inferred when you talk about Rogue.
Yep, and that's not it's honestly a bit stereotypical, right? Because they don't want it to be this way. You're thinking of, I loot first, I kill everyone without asking, sneak attack,
Parents are dead.
the parents are dead, right? Not Batman, no morals, chaotic neutral, breaking things for fun, betraying the party, stealing their own loot. There's just so much negative stigma.
All of that.
But they don't mention, like, Rogue they can just be good at skills, like talking to people, disarming traps is important, as we found out in the news.
Yes. Rogue is martial bard.
Yeah.
I've never said something so controversial that everyone is going to agree with.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Also, Bard can just do all those things because it gets to have, but pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Arcane Trickster is fun. There's a few, some people just really want to play an assassin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Soul Knife is cool.
Yeah,
have you read Soul Knife? It's interesting.
Yes. The Intelligence Duelist is an interesting bit of a spin on that too. Mm-hmm. I'll put it at top of B.
Top of B.
At top of B.
I'm someone who likes to do, I don't know if you know this, I'm a pretty big fan of D&D.
Really?
Pretty big fan of fantasy as a genre, generally.
That would explain why we've gone to space and dinosaurs, and now we're doing a future war thing.
Yeah. So when I think of fantasy, I think that Rogue fills a lot of like that space that needs to be filled.
That's true.
And also, my favorite thing as a dungeon master is making the like underground civilization run by rogues that is like secretly keeping everything afloat.
Do you mean like crime families?
Yeah. Like
okay. You're not talking about. Are you talking about like bad cults that hide in the sewer and like?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm talking about like the clean rogue.
Are you saying that the government that actually runs every nation is just rogues and ne'er-do-wells?
I'm going to be putting rogue into the bottom of A tier.
That seems fair.
It's where I think that they belong. And you know what?
Oh,
Paladin has been warming up to me. I got a text from a Paladin just now.
yeah.
And, man, the deals that I just made.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there was like a romantic thing, and paladins are good. Like that. I think paladins are good. All right,
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer.
Wow.
We should probably address this with wizard, huh?
Sure.
Because they basically do. They have a lot. There's a lot of overlap there, but why would you play a sorcerer over a wizard?
Twin haste.
Yeah.
Mostly. Also, like, so the big thing is meta magic.
Right.
You get to do subtle spell, you get to do quicken spell.
Because even like returning your spell slots just feels the same as the wizard.
Arcane
It's
recovery,
the
yeah.
same exact thing. It's just a question of when you can do it and how. For me, it's all flavor is the difference. It's like, do I want to feel like I have to use my brain, or do I want to just feel like Charlie Sheen, where I'm like drinking cocaine tiger blood and I just about add it?
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference to me is flavor. Because at the end of the day, a fireball is a fireball.
Yeah.
And meta magic, obviously.
I'm going to be putting wizard at the top of S tier because I love it.
Okay, hold on. I'm putting Ryan tier wizard.
Oh.
Now, there's one wizard class that is so heinous. It's divination wizard.
Oh.
Yeah, divination wizard is.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say blade singer.
No, okay, we don't talk about. That's who the sun is.
yeah.
If you show up with a blade singer,
Don't look over
if
here.
you show up with a blade singer, all of my enemies have triple health for some reason.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
That's odd how that happens.
Whoever made the divination thing it's so perfectly divination where you can just be like, I rolled bad, therefore it's a bad prediction about my opponents, or I rolled good, therefore it's a good prediction about myself. So perfect for divination, but actually such a problem mechanic for literally everything.
Yeah, I think this designer knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, this is for the person who wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
and also wants to cast spells.
Because we've done kind of that with Shard, where we're like, hey, Shard, you get one objection, where you just be like, something is now bad.
Mhm.
But like, this is rules as written, and Wizards of the Coast was like, now you can bring this to the table. Right, yeah. Are you a guy who rolls natural ones? Do you want to make your opponents do that instead of you? Like,
This is like Smash 4 Bayonetta. They were like, let's just sell the winner and you guys can buy it from us for money.
yep, pretty much. pretty much that. But otherwise, I mean, I think Sorcerer for me is, where are you going to put it?
I put it in S. The only thing that's sad with
Wizard there, not Sorcerer. Where are you doing?
Oh, where are you putting Sorcerer?
Did you just forget? I think I'm going to put it in right after Paladin. No, I'll put it after. It's better than Bard. I'll put it at top of A. Top of A.
Top of A.
Yeah, top of A.
Wow, Sorcerer. Congratulations. You just beat Bard.
Yeah, but like, how do you? That's a Sorcerer.
There is one thing that is weighing in on my difference between Wizard and Sorcerer, and it's why Sorcerer is going to go to the bottom of B tier.
Twin Haste Fireball.
Sorcerer's spell list
Yeah.
is something to be ashamed of.
Mm.
If someone asks you, are you playing Sorcerer? You say yes, and they say, what a bummer about your spell list. You go, no, I mean, it's like it's not that bad if you really think about it. And I picked the subclass that gives me expansion. Shut up. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh,
It's almost like even with this one, with the ones like there's like some you just have to take.
yeah.
Right? Like sometimes you're like, do I really need mage armor or shield? I guess.
Yeah.
So you have one there usually. You gotta take Fireball. Now you already have two. Like, what are you doing for utility? Like, it's not even bang on.
The spell list is small, and they have to take their spells permanently. They don't have the wizard I get to choose or druid I get to choose every morning, like what I want to do. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, it's so sad.
That's true.
It's good for building a brand, but that's it.
You've sold me. I think Bard is better.
Yes.
Mostly I just wanted to say that.
Bard will rise the ranks.
All right, cool. Oh, well.
I am a massive fan of Warlock.
As a player, as a DM.
As both, I think it's fun that if somebody wants to play a caster and they're new, you can say, here's one cantrip that you can cast unlimited times that will always represent good damage in battle. And here's a very few number of spell slots that uses only high impact spells so that you don't have to look through a huge list every single day.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's like way less complicated than checking out your cleric list or your druid list and then or you're, heaven forbid, your DM is finding scrolls on the ground for your wizard list. Now you've got a million options. Well, it's like, I got 2 nuke buttons today, and I got a repeating blaster. I can do these things. Like, that's a good point.
And then, that's not even to mention that there's a whole different class in Warlock
Pretty much.
that has been nested in and held away, except for when you watch this video. X-Blade.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It should have its own image.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
should. A little Pact of the Blade, X-Blade. You just fucking get in there with your mystical axe you've summoned from Cthulhu's butthole, and next thing you know, you're just a barbarian magic.
Yeah, you're better in every way to like every martial. It's pretty unfair.
Plus, if you really have to, if you get forced into a utility caster role, like Pact of the Book is fun.
Yeah.
Pact of the Tome, excuse me.
Yes,
my book tone.
Back to the book.
Yes, I have a great sauce. I'm putting it at bottom of S.
You know, if my S2 wasn't so crowded, I'd put it right above Ranger.
I have to do it for the shape.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's do a final overview.
Yeah, I think, just a quick question. Where would you put Bard if you were to rank it? Because I'd put Wizard probably in top of A or bottom of S.
That's tough. If I'm talking about in-game performance, I would probably put it the same place that you're putting Wizard, like bottom of S or top of A.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the strongest class. I do think it's the most fun.
You know what
just
it is?
Personally?
You know what it is about these 2 classes? They have such high variance based on what your plan is.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially from a roleplay perspective, too, because there's just so much with them that you could do whatever you want.
Yeah. I think the, like, hooks into the story that Wizard and Bard have are the strongest. And I think that kind of speaks to the kind of, you know, not only Dungeon Master, but the type of, like, players we are.
True.
And I think all the rest of the classes are bad in comparison to, you know, our chosen classes. If Bard wasn't here, Wizard would be.
Yeah.
I'm like a Wizard diehard for sure, as you can tell by my placement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we feel sorry for the Barbarian players?
I love Barbarian, but the thing is like, it does combat. Actually, this is a really good point. So we sat down at the beginning of Skill Check and we looked at the classes, and we wanted a way to make them more fun and not just the only way they could play it. A 2-dimensional class like Barbarian especially, right? They had nothing. Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why we invented the signature abilities, is like, we had to give a completely busted out of class ability for them to just have fun other than breaking things. So yeah, I feel pretty good about bottom of B, middle of B.
I'm playing a Barbarian right now in a game, and I feel like I'm veering as far from that 2D as possible. And even still, it's like, when there is a treasure in a lake of acid, everyone looks at me and they're like, "You got it, bud. Go send it." And it's cool to go do it, or maybe I'm doing that to myself. But like,
it sounds like you're being bullied, actually.
Well, no, it's very much something that I chose that I wanted to do, and the fantasy is there. I like being so tanky that I can do that.
No. Quick left turn. Wild Magic Barbarian.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
And in the same token, Wild Magic Sorcerer is like really something.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to be the person who is defining the whole campaign by yourself, you could play Wild Magic Sorcerer.
Yep,
everyone has to pay attention to you, which is cool. It's cool because sometimes you're like, I cast Blur and I'm a houseplant, and it's like, okay, good, fantastic. I'm glad we got there.
That's if your DM is nice and doesn't inflict like the 10,000 magical effects PDF on you.
Yeah,
that could get so much worse.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of movement. I don't like Rogue, is what I'm realizing. I like the idea of Rogue.
I think they're the best DM NPC.
Yes,
it's like
100%.
They played such a good Spy Master or like Alley Thug, all that stuff.
And how more fitting than for Rogue to be alone in this tier for me.
I put the Rogue with the Barbarian and the Bloodhunter, which I think is the people they would normally trick to be in their gang. So I feel good about that.
And then I'm going to move up Sorcerer just because I love magic, and I think Sorcerer is funny. Even though I was talking shit on it, I mean, you know, how bad can Lightning Bolt ever be?
I'm realizing the only reason I would play Artificer is if my DM said, no, you can't have a bag of holding, and I'd be like, nanny, nanny, boo boo.
Yeah.
That's about it. Which is the only thing saving you from play something. No. But you could put it there.
If your Dungeon Master is saying you can never have a bag of holding, you either are playing...
Oh, you play a different game. Something else.
Yeah, I got it. Exactly. I'm thinking, like, you're either playing with a DM that you don't like, or you have agreed to, like, a tooth-pulling Dark Souls
Which is fun.
experience. Yeah, I mean that can be good.
And then I would
Play something else.
I'd want a ranger in that one, probably.
But yeah, probably.
Okay, I think this is fine. Are you really going with Druid as play something else?
You're gonna play Druid, and here's the thing: if you're gonna play Druid, like, I don't know, man. You can.
Do you hate the furries, Drew?
I don't hate the furries. I'm gonna come out right now. I love the furries. They're great. I love the furries. They're all amazing.
I can't wait to see that on the internet.
Yeah. It needs to be a gif of me saying, I love furries in the bottom. Oh, God. It's all insane.
Okay, well, this is perfect. And now we decide who's empirically correct. You want me to be the honor, sir?
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
As is tradition, we've done this once. We will now roll dice to see whose list is invalidated.
Go ahead and tell me what roll that is.
13. That's a number above 10. Well, given that I suck at dice rolling.
And Ryan seems to have rolled a natural 20. Not only winning this tier list, but I would say thoroughly driving me into the dirt.
Yes. I will now be keeping this D20 as a token of my victory.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay. Right. And both of our tier lists actually suck because we did.
This is the real tier list.
This is the real tier list.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you.